Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bitcoin and Altcoin Trading Talk. This is episode 20, but it's actually it's episode 21, but it's actually episode 20 because I messed up when I named the video. So I think we agreed that we're all gonna go get drunk sometime and make a lost episode 20, and we'll bury it away in the archives, and we'll see if anybody goes back to find it and dig it up in years to come. Um, so if you're a long-time watcher of the show, I apologize. Well, it probably doesn't really affect you all that much, but it's actually 20.
They'll get
Episode
over it,
20.
I think.
Yeah, they'll get over it. So as usual, I'm William Kale from Coinigy.com, and along with me from Coinigy, we have Rob, who
Here,
apparently
present.
who didn't want to go on camera tonight. Are you feeling shy or
The
what?
camera's busted.
Yeah, I bet it is.
It is.
Okay. I've heard
Got
that one
stepped on.
before. Got stepped on. Why was it on the floor?
That's an excellent question. I'm guessing that you'd have to ask my dog about that.
Ah, interesting. Well, I have a new camera angle here, which I'll mention, but first I have to give Brian Beamish, the Rational Investor, his intro.
Hey guys, how are you?
The man who
Doing all
needs no
right?
introduction.
He
Coming to
needs
you
us.
on the Coinigy Cam special from Shea Beamish in beautiful downtown Burbank, California. Well, wait a minute, Vancouver, British Columbia.
Coming
Yeah,
through in high def.
yeah, you are in high
Yeah.
def. When I see my video pop up, it's like 640 by 480 resolution, and then Brian talks, and it's like full HD.
Is it? Well, I must
Oh,
say,
yeah.
trust me, we pay an arm and a leg for internet here, so that's what you're getting, I guess.
Got the bandwidth.
I guess
So yeah, so speaking of my new camera angle, the reason for that, just to opine on some more personal promotion stuff, but I've been doing basically live coding on this site called livecoding.tv. So let me see if I can actually pull this up here.
Yeah, I saw that on your
It's
guys'
at
site.
Coinigy.com now, right? In our chat.
Yeah, it's fed into Coinigy under the live stream tab now. Let me share my screen though and show everybody what's up with that. See if I can actually do this.
Ooh, I had to
Okay.
control F5 to get it to show up.
Yeah, so basically, it's livecoding.tv/Coinigy. The stream's offline right now, but you guys can actually just come in basically while I'm working during the day. Kind of watch me building. Right today, I was working on implementing margin trading, but there's a live chat there. Usually, my picture's up in the corner, like you can see here, and it's pretty cool. Kind of can give some good feedback and stuff, and see kind of what kind of work goes into making Coinigy happen.
Did you
So check that
did
out.
you tweet out that the show is on?
I did not, so let me do
Okay.
that quick. Man, I am just sloppy this week.
No, that's cool. Don't
Let's
worry
see
about it.
here.
Such a fancy. Oh, here, I guess we ought to
Not just
get rid
today,
of it.
all week. Sloppy.
Oh, give me a
Wow.
break, Rob.
Yay, you said it, not me.
There's your. That's your Twitter homepage, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's a fine looking page.
Okay, let's see. I will tweet that out right now. Let's see, what are we at right now? Oh, 5 viewers. Let's get that count up a little bit.
Hey, everybody. Let's talk about. Oh, hey.
You mean 55 viewers?
I'll show you a coin that I've got that I think is about to pop, but we'll see what happens. As soon as I get the tweet from you guys, I'll throw it in my room. We might get a bunch of our people come on. So, fire away, sir.
I'm taking my sweet time typing this up. It's got to be perfect.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, Rob, why don't you tell us what's happened around Coinigy this past week?
Oh, I don't know. We've mostly been working on our blockchain integration in the back end so that we can start to do some blockchain related things on Coinigy, like having our own block explorer designed with our own Coinigy flavor, which will hopefully be one of the nicer looking and performing blockchain explorers out there. It'll support over 100 different coins.
Oh, cool.
and we'll also have API access for those coins for various blockchain metrics like difficulty and blocks and transactions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be integrated into our WebSocket API as well with push notifications for blocks and transactions. So that's all coming soon. We're basically done with the infrastructure on the back end and just working on some of the finishing touches before we start releasing some of that stuff.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Brian, you got your tweet there.
Yeah, I'm just firing it out now, and I'll throw. Oh, look at that! So people are retweeting right away. So
All
let's
right.
grab.
The magic
So
of social media.
So yeah, the cool thing, just to expand on that, I mean, in terms of the Block Explorer stuff, you're gonna actually be able to overlay like stats like difficulty, and we're not really sure what the other stats are yet, but um, basically every type of metric that we can get historical data on. In terms of the blockchain on really hundreds of altcoins, you'll actually be able to overlay those on the price charts directly on Coinigy.
Mm-hmm. And
So
Bitcoin and Litecoin and all these
yes,
other altcoins as well.
yeah, so that's going to add a whole new element really to your trading because obviously mining statistics do play quite a bit of a big, what's the word, part.
Influence.
Yeah, they influence the price quite a bit. So this is going to be pretty cool. You'll actually be able to, and we're really hoping to give you the ability to actually run TA on these metrics themselves.
Yeah,
So
that would be cool.
yeah, so I mean, if you can imagine kind of taking like a difficulty chart and almost trying to predict where the difficulty goes. I mean, and I don't really know of any other sites out there that let you actually, see what the MACD is on um, on like the Bitcoin
The
difficulty chart.
difficulty history. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would be. In fact, I mean, really, you could argue that you're getting into sort of quantitative analysis there. This stochastic of how does it go? The stochastic of the rate of change, or the rate of change of the stochastic. I can't remember anyway. But yeah, if you can start doing technical analysis on fundamental data, and the very algorithmic nature of cryptocurrencies themselves, right? I would be
Hmm.
willing to bet there's probably some really interesting patterns
Mm-hmm.
that develop from that data. That would be fascinating.
Yeah, and this is and the cool thing really about it too is it's not just Bitcoin and Litecoin. We're talking about hundreds of altcoins
I
here
know,
too.
like
So
like we just had the halving event last year, right? I mean,
yeah,
on
Litecoin.
Litecoin, right?
Hmm.
Um, I mean, and it's interesting when I talk to people. Like, obviously, I come from this from a trader's perspective, right? But if you are someone who is simply wanting to invest fundamentally in something, that's really important data to have, and not just looking to clip the market here and there, but to make good, solid, fundamental investment decisions. I think that's
Right, right.
fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be cool too to just be able to correlate, difficulty and transaction count and stuff with price movements kind of over time. I mean, I know there
Yeah.
there are sites that where you can somewhat compare that, but you'll be able to do it in the same fashion as you can with really any other indicator on our charts. So that'll be
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's definitely not something to sneeze at. Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yep, we're hard at work on that, and then
When
so
any update on when we might get some things like volume scans or moving average cross scans or anything like that in the works?
no update on that yet. We've been working on
Okay.
this other stuff, but that's honestly, that's in the pipeline. So, I mean, the big thing outside of this blockchain stuff, Rob's been primarily kind of working on the blockchain stuff, and then I've been working on margin trading. And margin trading is just a huge nut to crack. There's
Oh
just
yeah.
so many more variables involved than placing your standard limit orders and such. So that's what I've been grinding away on. And don't forget to check livecoding.tv/Coinigy. I'm streaming the perils of coding margin trading day in and day out. So So yeah.
Cool. I'll be waiting with bated breath. All
So
right.
yeah,
So
Brian, you
where,
can you
where do
can
we want to
watch me
go
on
now?
live coding, and you can watch my progress and watch as soon as I'm done with margin, and then we can get going on the chart scanning.
Cool.
Might even get to
I'll be
put
your little cheerleader.
your own
Go,
little
go, go.
flavor on Coinigy even.
I beg your
Hmm.
pardon?
You might be able to put your own little, handprint on Coinigy if you're in there and you mention, a particular feature or a way to show something. It might get coded right up in front of your eyes and make it into the production site.
Yeah, actually, that's happened a couple times so far. We've had Coinigy users come on the live coding chat and be like, "Hey, there's a bug with this," and then they watched me fix it live, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, bonus.
So yeah, that's about it for us. We can get into
But
the
I
nitty
did
gritty
see that
here.
you guys are running like a TV show kind of live stream. Is it just going to be the coding, or are you actually going to be doing like trading and stuff?
I mean, at some point, yeah. I mean, I do test trading and stuff. I'm not really so much trading for profit nowadays. I don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's livecoding.tv, so it's mostly for people stream videos there to basically teach and learn and just do programming and stuff. So it's for people who are interested in programming.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I'm kind of you have a little video of me working, and then you get to see some of the code I'm working on, and then you get to see the changes to the site live while I'm working on it and give your input. So
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
yeah, it's not so much like a show format. It's mostly just chilling and listening to music and um, giving your input.
All right. I love using your charts. They're so fun. All right, guys. So what's the plan for tonight? We're gonna jump into some altcoin analysis. You want to talk Bitcoin? You want to talk about what's in the news? Do we want to do our raffle? What do we think we should do next?
Uh, I guess. I mean, it's up to you. I don't know how you want to handle the raffle stuff. Maybe we should wait towards the tail end of the show so they have to watch longer. Hey.
Well, I think that
I'm
I
sure we
think.
should probably announce the raffle now, and maybe we could collect entries for
Oh, you know
people who
what?
are
That's smart. That's smart.
viewing and haven't had a chance to join up yet. So, and then
That's
we'll
very
announce at the
interesting.
end of the show who the winner is.
All
That's
right.
not a
Yeah.
bad idea.
So I had my Twitter, and I'll be honest with you guys, audience watching, I got a little bit lazy on this simply because, frankly, the school's basically all full. So anybody who does, participate in this raffle, I didn't really promote it too much. And, I got to thank the Coinigy boys. We've had a lot of people from Coinigy come over, people who have watched this show and have wanted to take the school program. So we must be doing something right here. And I apologize, audience, for me not promoting this raffle a little bit more. Maybe next term we'll probably, really promote it. But long and short of it is, we did send some notice out. We had a few people that basically retweeted the tweet, and by all means, you can go to my Twitter feed if you want, at CR Investor, if you're watching this now. Where do I have that on here? I got it on here somewhere. That was, which one was it? Right here. Wasn't it somewhere around here? Maybe it was a reply I did. But anyway, I suggested to people that they retweet this tweet and you'll be entered. So everybody who did do that, and you can see we had a few retweets, you'll be entered into the raffle at the end of the show. And I guess as a parting note, we'll announce the winner out of that. I don't know if do we just I'll copy this tweet and I'll throw it in the text box here in the Google Hangout. And Will, if you want to just maybe throw it on the YouTube page.
Sure.
And then 5 minutes before the end of the show, there's the link. 5 minutes before the end of the show, we'll just count up everybody that's done the retweet, whatever, and we'll pull a name from a hat. How does that sound?
So, if you win this raffle, give us a
What do you
little
get?
explanation. What are we going to get here?
You get 50 lashes with a wet
I might
noodle.
have to get on my Twitter machine and get to retweeting here.
Um, it seems to be that we're running these 3 a year. The school program itself is I designed it to be 12 weeks. And by all means, if you're watching the show tonight and contemplating whether you want to enter the raffle, there is our link right there, rationalinvestor/school. It's pretty simple. You can go and basically read up on what the program's objectives are and what we're going to do. This raffle drawing is for a level 1 entry level program, the introductory program seat. The program itself is 3 months in duration, 12 weeks. And it's, as you can see here, it's specifically designed for people who have never invested before, never traded, never even looked at a market, to actually give them the ability to actually seriously consider trading. If not on a hobby basis, at least get you pointed in the right direction. So I've found that most of my new people that come to me, it's about a 6-month learning curve. If you learn very quickly and you do a lot of hard work, you can get the level 1 and level 2 programs in, and that gives you just a ton of user material for the market to build trading plans and build setups. If it takes you 6 months just working away off of this level 1 program, there's plenty of information and trade setup material that you can use to create setups. And in fact, the setup that I'm going to talk to you about today in Bitcoin that I took recently, it's everything you see on here is taught in the level 1 program.
Yeah, hey, if I can chime in, guys, anybody who's watching that wants to enter, I added a link to the tweet in the video's description. So just go ahead, click on that link, and retweet Brian's tweet. We'll see it during the show, and then you will be entered.
All right, cool. Thank you, Will.
Yeah, you might need to refresh the video. I don't know how that works. I don't know if since I edited it while the video is active, I don't know if it worked, but...
And by all means, guys, anybody who is watching and totally free, totally aside from the site, you can follow me on, I think it's at CRInvestor on Twitter, and you can find that tweet that way and retweet it that way. That's fine. I don't mind. And this isn't a bad way to just sort of keep an eye on what it is I'm doing in the market at any given point in time too. How does it go? Follow, like, what else are you supposed to do? High five,
retweet,
subscribe, yeah. That's one.
a nice pat on the bottom.
Yeah, all right. And really, like I said, this program is specifically designed for people who have never invested before and that really need sort of a crash course in how to, act professionally in the marketplace. So the first part, and actually what the students are in right now for our Q1 2016 program, we're actually in the process now of eating our vegetables. It's not a lot of fun, but every new trader must go through this process. You need to understand the importance of working with a trading plan, the importance of strategic vision, risk management, a really solid foundation into fundamental and technical analysis, just an introduction to what they are. And that's basically what we do for the first month of the course, and that's basically, it's interesting, the raffle technically was we're going to do today. We've already had the introductory lesson Monday and Wednesday for the level 1, so the person who wins the raffle, you're going to have to hit the ground running because you're already technically 1 week behind. So get ready, whoever wins this raffle. You know what they often say, right? Careful what you wish for. You might just get it good and hard. So anyway, once we get through sort of building a solid foundation for you to act professionally in the marketplace, then we can go and start having some fun. And, that's where Coinigy comes in, right? Where we look at indicators and we look at price action and we look at trading tools, and we start defining what we call setups, and we look at levels, and we consider price and targets and all that kind of fun stuff. I like to call that the candy store. Have you guys ever heard me use that term before, the candy
Hmm.
store?
Yep.
This is the fun part of the business, right? But I would be remiss as an instructor if I didn't set my students up for success by going through the heavy, hard slogging that we have to do if we're contemplating running a small business trading. So long and short of it here is this level 1 program. This is what's up for grabs tonight. You're going to get basically a crash course in small business management with regard to risk analysis and strategic vision and all that kind of stuff. And then you're going to be given, and I think the level 1 course tops out at about 15 different criteria that you could consider using in creating what we call setups. The objective of the level 1 program, to be honest with you, and I show this to every student, and it's basically my objective from day one, is to have students leave the course with a trading plan. And you guys have probably seen my trading plans. It's not that big of a document. This is only 2 pages long. But in essence, this defines everything and anything I do in the market. Why I do it, how I do it, where I do it, when I do it. And if I don't, and really I often talk to you guys, and I remember I put out this document. This actually, we spent a lot of time today in school. In school talking about this document. And I think I remember I gave this to you guys too.
Yeah.
This removing the beast from within.
Yeah, we shared that with our users at one point. You should paste the link to that again, Brian. I don't know if that's a public document.
Yeah. Hey, I can put it right in the text box here if you want.
Yeah, we'll add that to the video description as well.
This is basically, as a trader and somebody who's in the market, I want to make money from trading. Whether it be day trading Bitcoins or whether it's position trading altcoins, I live on this behavioral curve. Where as a trader, number one, I'm always a student of the market. I'm constantly learning. This is my life, where I simply go and create a plan. I exercise the plan. I identify whether I hit my objectives. If I didn't, is it because the setup was in question, or was it because of behavioral issues? I then modify the plan, whether it be I build more setups to support my behavior, or whether it be I work with different technical setup criteria, and I monitor for consistency in my behavior. I analyze the data. I go through my behavioral modification. I plan. I modify the plan. I go through monitoring my behavior. Blah 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 blah. It just goes around and around and around. This is our life, right? That's not to make a trader's life boring and kind of mundane, but to be perfectly honest, this is the wheel that we live on. And it's kind of sad because a lot of people come to trading with the best intentions, and ironically enough, it's not that their ideas of what they want to do don't work. It's that they have really poor execution, and they are not willing to look at the mirror, identify the fact that they need to work on execution. And so then they just, they use cute euphemisms like fat finger or something like that, or, oh, it's just a market. And trust me, I went through this too, where the only way I got over it, and it's what I teach in the class, is you got to log your behavior, and then you got to stand in front of the mirror and say, hey, if I want to succeed at this, I have to address this behavior. So those are the kind of things that I work on with students, right? It's a lot of fun to talk charts, right, and indicators and levels and prices, right? But ironically enough, a lot of being actually a professional in the marketplace is all about your behavior. And this is where I think I actually help people the most. So that's what you're going to get when you win this contest today. So are you ready? Now, do you, I often tell people that, should you actually be able to complete the course, and actually there's one gentleman, and I gave him the challenge today, a new student, where he did a very typical retail trade, and I told him, you're going to print that chart out and you're going to put it right in front of your computer screen. And then at the end of this course, you're going to print that exact same chart out, and I want you to tell me the difference. And I honestly believe he's going to look back at that original trade, and he's going to be like, I can't believe I did what I did. Right? And that's really, we want to equip you with the tools to be able to grow. It's one thing to say, hey, I want to be a better trader. It's another thing to actually have the tools to be able to address the problems and be able to grow out of those problems and then ultimately succeed. That's what you're going to learn in my program. Kaboom!
Kablam!
It's going to be awesome. Whoever wins.
Yeah. Well, and I joke with somebody. I used to work with a guy out of Chicago, and he basically had the same sort of program, but frankly, I don't think he did nearly as good a job in his program as I do in mine. Not to toot my own horn, but I mean, it's staggering the price difference between what he was charging and what I'm charging for this. Now, if you win the contest, you get it for free. That, ironically enough, might be a little bit of a hurdle or a barrier to the person actually winning, really successfully implementing this stuff. We've talked lots about that kind of thing in the past. But it'll be an interesting challenge to see whether this contest winner can apply the information to their benefit. I'd be really, really excited for them.
All right, let's do some technical analysis, Brian.
Sure, sounds good. Why not? What the heck?
Hey, we have a question here through the Q&A thing, guys, on Hangouts. Adam Sims. Okay. Adam Sims said, how do you win? I had to take a call and had it on mute. So yeah. Adam, all you need to do is go ahead and retweet Brian's tweet, which I just put in the description on the video. Where is it? So you might need to refresh the video itself, but it should be in the description on the video. Otherwise, just check out twitter.com/crinvestor. And you should be able to find that tweet. Yeah, there you go.
That's right. Oh, this is weird. This is like me looking at me looking at me.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the tweet. Just click on that, fire away. Make sure to put your name and all that kind of fun stuff, and we'll add you to the contest.
Yeah, okay? just retweet it. Yeah, you don't. Yep, and then all
right,
we'll be able to figure it out.
Okay, so as always, guys, we basically put the call out earlier in the day for ideas for us to take a look at, and a lot of times there's Adam. A lot of times, is that the tweet I was talking about?
That's not the tweet, but
good try, Adam. Though we got you. A lot of times I get some trade ideas from you guys, so. We've got, and we were sort of talking about this before the start. Right off the bat, I noticed that we had requests to look at DGB, as well as ETH, VNL, Dash, Doge. A lot of these names we've looked at a lot recently. I will talk to you a little bit about ETH, because actually that was a trade that I did recently, so we might as well toot our own horn there. In our little crypto portfolio, we have just a really simple API that feeds in the data from BitterX. Don't get too excited about that. Do I have it? Oh, I don't have it written up here. Let's go in our blog, and we'll go look back in the blog. And actually, I guess maybe that was maybe a month or two ago, wasn't it? So let's do a little search on the site and see if this works. If we go ETH, let's see what happens. So Sjord and Julian are looking, holding their breath. There we go, ETH. And I don't know whether you guys remember, but I was not overly impressed with how this ICO or whatever the hell you want to call it went, when they brought this thing to market.
I recall, yes.
Yeah. They ripped it apart, and it was interesting after quite a while of the market getting washed out here, I could actually start justifying nibbling. And hopefully you guys have probably seen these images before. Let's see if we can, how do we do this? Can we zoom in on this? There we go, cool. We had a big thumping, and the interesting thing is off of this thumping in price, just a natural sort of bounce should take us somewhere up into this, 0.005 area. You notice that we got as high almost as 0.004. I guess we did get 0.004. Can't tell that high there. This is what we call our first stop target, that 38.2. So not really a big surprise. We went shooting up and then had to come back down and test these lows. This was a funny candle because some of the exchanges, they put a new low in here and some didn't. So like if we were looking at this on, say, what's the one, Kraken? I think one of our site members.
Kraken was one of the first to have Ethereum.
Yeah, he's always trading Ethereum on Kraken. That didn't make a new low. And what was interesting is that I could even just sort of tell by this sort of tone that people were actually starting to put money to work in here. I was a little leery through here. I did want to see the market come back down to another one of our little reload zones down in here. And I was willing to start nibbling in here, and so I did. So keep that number in mind, 0.0019. Let's go. And we'll stay on Bitrex just because we looked at that chart. There. Okay, so where is that 0.1009? Yeah, it's somewhere down in this area, I think. Right down in here, right? Somewhere down in there. So, here's a great example of just simply identifying the bottom end of a trading range. And you could even argue this rally peak that we said was 38.2 up top, right? You could argue that this is the top end of a trading range. And there are a lot of people in this trading world that will simply make a living trading this range, where they're going to just basically try and buy near the bottom end of the range, and they're going to be trying to sell near the top end of the range. You guys heard that kind of message from me before?
Yes, I have.
And, if we do little fibs and all that kind of stuff like we saw off the last chart, it shouldn't surprise us that good old Brian is interested as price starts probing down near the bottom end of this range. So basically, I just pulled the trigger. When I was a penny stockbroker, the easiest way for me to get people to invest in money in the market was just simply to say, look, you're going to take a shot on this thing. If it works, great. If it doesn't, no big deal. It's not that big of a hit to you, right? And sometimes, and we all remember Ruby, right? Sometimes when you buy one of these things, these silly little things just keep going and going and going and going, and you can get 4, 5, 6, 7, 800+% return on your trade. So with that kind of backdrop, that's sort of how I like to come to the altcoin market. I kind of use the same approach in that if I can identify a relatively attractive range, I don't mind going and throwing just a few percent of my portfolio at a name like this, and it's just basically I've got my money working. Keep in mind that, there's that crazy ICO day, right? And even if we just exclude that ICO day itself, right, we're kind of buying fairly discounted asset here, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
There's no guarantee that this is the bottom, but something that you guys in the audience can learn as well is this concept of seasonality. I've been following the alts, and of course I've traded the penny stocks for better part of 20 some odd years. And I've noticed a lot of similarities with these alts in that there is, a finite risk heading into the end of calendar years. We saw this happen last year. We saw this happen this year. Really, I wasn't watching alts too closely through 2013. But I think I seem to remember end of 2004, 2014, 2015. I've seen this basically the same relatively consistent pattern. And then seasonally, like if we look, what was one that Dash? He did pretty well last year, didn't he? If we look at, yeah, here we are. Can you guys kind of see how this guy kind of bottomed into the end of the year, kind of saucer?
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is when you're down here in the shit, right? Excuse my French. You can't really see a rally like this happening, right? It just doesn't seem conceivable, right? Because we're wrapped up down in this kind of mess, right? And yet, this is kind of what I think you have to start anticipating as we head into this seasonally friendly time of year for the market. And this is kind of what I'm looking for over the next 6 months in the alts. After going through a typical, fall, and this dash is, very typical. In fact, I have some people in my site that are getting really interested in this name down here. But really, it shouldn't surprise us, that the ETH, the dash, these kind of names, they're all seasonally putting in bottoms down here. And, I'll just finish off the ETH thought with, I'm not going to look for this wick to be eaten. Let's maybe pop on over to, make NASCO happy. Let's pop on over to Kraken. And let's take a look. I remember when this happened right here. I remember the poor guy, talking about that. But look at that. Can you guys see the nice WE type pattern in price that's happening here?
A little bit, yeah.
If I change this to a line chart, if we close above this level, can you guys see how we go down, up, down, up?
Sure.
And that's actually already happened, hasn't it? And what's cool is you can see it came in on volume. We like to say that volume speaks volumes. I don't know if you've ever heard me say that before.
No, that's a new one, I think.
All right. Well, I'm always pulling them out of my butt. You never know when they're going to come. But the point here is, if we look at a volume study like on balance volume, I got one site member who's just made a killing trading alts, just simply trading the OBV every time it goes to new highs. That's a buy signal. I mean, do these look like M's or does that look like a big kind of W?
It looks like an ever-progressing W.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just looks like a stair step, eh? Can you kind of see that? And this is what we call walking the market higher. So it looks to me like somebody has an agenda here, all right? So, put it all together, seasonality, price structure, technical targets. That's what I was just going to finish off with. Let's see if I can go back to my chart, the chart that I'm doing. Hold on. Come on. Where are you? There we go. We won't even use this nutso single candle there. We'll just use the previous high as our high, or the following high as our high. So let's go off of this high here. If we just do really simple fibs going back up, can you understand how I would probably start getting bearish? And not necessarily bearish, just maybe less enthusiasm on the bullish side if and when price gets up into this area. And have you ever heard me talk about the reload zone, RLZ?
Yeah, I just didn't want to say anything incorrect. I always have at least one incorrect answer every show, so I'm trying to just bite my tongue a little bit.
We haven't done any quizzes this week, have we? So the point here is my buy here at 1900 and change. Um, uh, 40 is a double, so I think I can get off a free coins. That would simply imply a test of the October highs, which really isn't that too much of a stretch. And at 80, I can start seriously talking about money. That would be 200% booked profit. That's going to be up here. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. I think we're probably going to run into some serious traffic. You see how this was a battle area? There's probably some guys that bought coins right here, and they're just praying to God that the market gets back there. They'll sell
Right.
them, and then they'll
Yeah, the
swear.
second it comes back, they're gonna probably.
That's right. So can you see how there's a lot of back and forth? Some people took a long shot in here, right? Price was moving up. Some people also took long shots in here, right? So my hunch is if we can get back up into there, we're going to have to do a bit of this back and forth. So, from 0019, I think I could get myself some free coins. I think that's doable. I think we're probably going to run out of steam somewhere up in here, which, from 19, I'm not going to be complaining about whatsoever. It's going to be a bit of a stretch for me to get my second double off. It'll be interesting to see what happens. As I'm speaking right now, I like what I'm seeing. I'm more than happy to just sit in my long. And here's a great example of I'm just happy to have some money working here. Now, Mr. Ethereum, show me what you got.
Time to step up to the plate, Ethereum.
Exactly. I'm long.
Enough of this pussyfooting around.
Well, and as we did on that OBV study, we can see other people are joining the party. So I like that. That makes me happy. Okay, let's maybe move on. Hopefully, I gave him a pretty good walking through. What do you think? Did I do a half decent spiel on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay, we got Dash. We'll give Dennis one more out of his list. Dash, DGB, VNL, or Doged. We haven't talked about Doged in a while, have we?
No, I don't think we've ever talked about Doged.
All right,
I don't really even know. I don't know what the difference between Doged and Doge is.
I think Doged is a derivative to a certain degree. I seem to remember because I remember I had one of our
Probably
longtime
Doge Dark.
one of our longtime site members. He was simply working bids at like 2 and working offers at like 4 and 5 and just banging out free trades back and forth. He built like a massive war chest to this, just doing your ARB trades. Not even ARBs, right? Just working bids at 2, working offers at 4, and just banging out free coins.
Nice.
Incredible. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I don't know whether Oscar's watching. He's on the site.
It's probably more Johnny. It's probably more apparent on like an hour resolution or something, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, we could probably go down to that time.
Yeah, there we go.
What I love about what I do is that there is a million different ways to skin this cat, right? You've heard me say that before, right? Mm-hmm. And I find it fascinating how some people on Twitter are like, oh, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, if you can make money at it and it's ethical and it's legal, why not do it? So, this appealed to Oscar. And Oscar, I apologize, I'm using your name. But, if you want to bitch at me, feel free to yell at me. But Oscar, all he did was he just was working bids at 2, and I guess how long ago? I guess I can't go back that far on a 1-hour chart here. Oh, maybe I can.
You can. It's going to take forever to scroll back.
Right. I don't even know if these are the correct levels or not. But anyway, I remember watching him do it. It was just ridiculous, and he was just banging out doubles. Maybe it was 3 and 6, and I'm mistaken. I can't remember. But anyway, the point is I watched him just do this repeatedly, day in, day out, buying at 2, selling at 4, buying at 3, selling at 6, and getting filled. And it was just like, oh shit, he did it again.
So it's really interesting that there's enough volume to actually handle it.
Well, that's the thing with this thing. I think there's
I guess at like 7 satoshis, there's going to be plenty of volume.
Yeah, this thing has a bazillion, and if I'm not mistaken, like Doge is a pretty diluted coin anyway, right?
Hmm.
And this thing's a derivative of that. If somebody's on the video call and would like to correct us on our Doge analysis,
Yeah, I know it's Dogecoin Dark. So I don't know if it's actually a derivative of it or not.
what am I doing wrong here?
You don't need the dollar sign in there,
Oh,
just
okay.
DOG. That should do it, I assume.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. Doged. Uh, oh yeah. So they're nice and light. They only have 9 billion coins out. Which is almost comical, right? I just, this is one of these crazy things that you just don't know what the hell's going to happen in this world. If the market's going to give you free coins and something, I mean, I'm the type of guy that, hey, I'll just take them. You saw, I don't know whether you guys earlier saw, but the good people at Titcoin put out a little tweet saying, retweet our tweet and we'll give you 100 free Titcoins. And I was like, sold. you know, if I could get free coins, I'll take them. What the hell? So I don't know. Is this value here with 9.3 billion coins out? I don't think so. The 24-hour volume they're saying is 72 cents worth of U.S. dollars. This is definitely suspect. But if I could get a position where I'm just bidding at 2 and letting them go have it at 4 and getting free coins, I might do it for kicks, and you never know what the hell happened to this damn thing. Is it sort of a rational investment? For that many coins to be outstanding, I'd have to hear one hell of a good story, right? I mean,
Right.
if we woke up and Berkshire Hathaway was investing in Doge Darkcoin, and Warren Buffett has personally come out and said we're loading up and we're running this thing, then I could ride on his coattails, right? And that would be my fundamental justification. And we saw, we can make the argument that Ethereum is getting that kind of vote of confidence by Microsoft and stuff like that, right? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't. That was a crazy scenario. Please, everybody, don't get on me about Warren Buffett buying cryptocurrencies. It was just a nonsensical
He's
illustration.
adamantly against them, from what I
Oh, of
recall.
course, of course. The point that I'm trying to make is, with this much supply out, I'd have to hear one hell of a good story for me to really think fundamentally this thing's ready to rock and roll, right? A lot of the purchases that I've been doing recently for the site are coins that have like 10 million. A lot of these. AEON. Just in comparison, right? The Doge versus this AEON, he's got a grand total of 10 million, right? That, to me, I love that kind of number. And trading against the lows, I'm willing to start taking shots down here. That's just me, right? A million different ways to skin this cat. I'm not telling you this is the way you have to trade. This is just the way that I approach the market. Kind of the same reason why I was interested in Ethereum. How many are out on the Ethereum now?
That's a really good question. It can't be that much.
76. So we could argue it's not a bargain basement, right? So, when we start getting above 20, 30, 40 million coins, we better hear a pretty good story, right? And I think Ethereum's got the story. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
Ethereum definitely has so much potential too. So it's
yeah.
got that behind it.
I
Whether
think the question
see where it
ultimately
goes,
there
but
was just, did they burn through that huge financing that they did, eh? Okay, so the
right.
technical TA on Doge, can we really get too excited right now? It looks to me like we're down in a seasonal trough. Do we have any sort of pound the table, you got to buy this thing? I don't see any, monster signal. I'm a little concerned that, when I was a penny stockbroker and we saw charts that actually look like this, we used to call this block trading. And this is kind of a bad sign.
Yeah.
So I don't really like the look of this. I think I have some on the books. Um, I may have bought, against these lows here. But the fact that we broke this low here at 3 ticks, traded down to back down to 2. I guess Oscar wasn't buying at 2 because it wasn't trading at 2 back
Wow.
last fall.
Yeah.
So
It's at 2. That's like, or it's 3 right now. Can't really get
yeah,
much lower than that. You can get two
well,
ticks
they
lower.
might go right off the board, right?
Yeah.
It's traded a whopping what do we got here? 800,000. It's traded 2 million, 69 million, 83 million. What's the magic number to get Bitterx to say, see you later, you're not doing enough volume?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like 1 BTC in a week or something like that.
Yeah, so, 24-hour volume, I don't think we have to worry about it going off the board. Oh, wait a minute, that's Ethereum. Sorry, wrong one. Okay, so 24-hour volume, you know.
Yeah.
This is where we start getting into territory. Whereas does Bitterix kick them off the board, and then what do they do? I was surprised to see that Potcoin Bitterix kicked them off their board, eh?
Oh, they did? Potcoin?
Yeah. I had to move
Wow.
them over to, and we
I
haven't
was
even
not aware
talked
of that.
about Cryptsy today, have we? That's interesting how
No,
we
we
avoided
haven't.
that whole conversation.
Oh, jeez.
What that soap opera that is Cryptsy, eh?
Yeah.
So, well, no, I guess maybe it's not pot. Which one is it that I thought? But the weird thing is with these listing and delistings, it drives me crazy. Where the hell did that go? Okay, I guess pot is on there. I noticed I had one that was called DuckNote XDN. Do you guys remember this? Um, it might have been
Doesn't
before
ring
I
a
knew
bell.
you guys. I bought this crazy little coin back here at about 7 ticks, and we ran it up. Just a fantastic trade. And Bitterx actually delisted these guys. God, it's impossible to see with that, eh? Um,
Gotta love that.
and let's see if it shows. Yeah, there it is. So this is kind of something that bugs me about this altcoin market. Why would Bitterx, just basically say, "Uh-oh, you're screwed"? And if you had your coins there, where did those coins go? Did the Bitterx management just say, "Thank you very much for the gift"?
I don't know.
And then all of a sudden,
I
they
mean,
just
I think they've always been pretty good about that stuff, though, as far as I can remember. I mean, what they'll do is they'll, first of all, give you a lot of notice, and then if they delist a coin, I believe you can still withdraw for quite a while. So,
right, and then all of a sudden, somebody decides that they're okay to be listed again. I mean, it
I
it
don't know what the story
is.
is there.
It's a little bit fishy what I see going on here. I'm going to assume that they have the best intentions. We haven't heard any horror stories out of Bitterix, and of course we know all about Cripsy wonderfulness.
Oh, yeah.
So this bothers me, and
Which,
I've
speaking of
seen this.
Cripsy, by the way, we did just yesterday, we delisted them from our Matrix app.
You did, eh? So you've actually
Yeah.
gone to
Yeah.
that step.
Yeah, I
So
mean, just because the exchange rates were so out of whack on pretty much every market, they were trading. I can't remember if it was really at a premium or at a discount, but it was way off compared to everything else. So it kind of threw off the numbers, and we're like, well, I don't really see the situation improving for them, so we might as well just delist them from our matrix. We still have
yeah,
the charts up on the site, but
yeah.
yeah.
Well, fingers crossed for you, Cripsy people. But at the same time, if you're up to no good, these things, karma has a bad habit of coming and biting you in the butt, eh?
Hmm.
All right. So where were we? I guess we were talking about Doge. I mean, what I kind of see here is very normal seasonality. It's weak. You got to hear some sort of story. Are you watching the developers? Is anything going on in the message boards? With a lot of these alts, is it even a question of having anymore? Because a lot of them are POS, right? Where they don't have. Do I have that correct?
Say that again.
Do the POS coins go through those halving events like something like Bitcoin would?
I'm not sure. I think it varies by the blockchain, basically.
Yeah, they can do it however they want, pretty much.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I don't
we'll
really
probably
know
have
what the
a stable
distribution is.
distribution, or
All
they
right,
have.
so I don't know whether Doge is a mining funded operation. Um, I would simply say it looks like we're at the bottom end of the range, and you could probably get a double off here just on any sort of test of these highs. There's a nice wick that needs to be eaten. Have I got to pound the table? You got to get in there. Buy, 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 buy. Yeah, with this many coins out, it's going to take one hell of a good story to get this thing going. Okay, let's keep moving on here. What was next on the block?
Tit?
Should we do tits?
Sure.
Tit? All right.
Do some tits.
Tit's a funny name. I got a bunch of this on the books, and like I said, I did their little reply tweet, so I grabbed another 100 more. I think our total comes to, I was looking with the boys earlier tonight. What does it come to? Tit, we got 27,984 plus 100. I don't care. Free boobs. In fact, I think on the tweet itself, I said, "This is the only time in your life you are ever going to get free tits." I don't know. Maybe that was a bad comment, but
No, that was good.
Brian and his silly sense of humor.
I chuckled, but I chuckled internally.
Yeah, only time in your life you're going to get some free tit. So you might as well take advantage of it. Technically, it's interesting. I like the look of the money flow on this thing, right? Like, can you guys see how the OBV just keeps moving up here?
Yeah.
Price really hasn't gone anywhere. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this coin was back here promoted by Playboy, and anytime the magazine did any sort of write-up on cryptocurrencies, this thing would have a face rip move, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was exactly what this move was here. Then the story went kind of dead, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a recent little pump up here. That's these moves. I think these were more sort of Playboy kind of announcements. What I do like is, and I love these kind of, see this big down, small tail, big up. You see that?
Yep.
I don't know if you guys can see that or not. This is what's called railroad tracks. And actually, I did a tweet in the stock market about railroad tracks here recently in the stock market. Railroad tracks. See if this comes up here. I never do this right. No, I didn't do that
Hey,
right.
pictures of trains.
No results.
I don't know.
Oh, you fudge.
Twitter search is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I just did this on the 6th of the month, right? And this was an example of a railroad tracks market went straight up, small wick, opened up, straight down, finished right near the lows, and a move through this level is a sell signal with your stop just above here. And this is the railroad tracks. This is a bearish one, right? One big up candle, one big down candle, move through this low, see you later. The reason why I mention that here is, and by all means, there's another great example of why you should subscribe to my, at CR Investor Twitter feed. I do a lot of sort of free little tweets of technical stuff that, I want to have available for school that you can pick up on any day of the week. And I also did another tweet, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's not it. There was a follow-up that I did to this. I don't know how you get.
If you click on the tweet itself, like somewhere, not on the text, but on the background.
Yeah, there it is. So this was the setup. You guys saw that, right? There's the setup. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Right? And this was the end result. Kaboom! Right?
Oh, wow.
That's a pretty powerful signal, eh? So the point here is railroad tracks are very powerful signal. And, we often see them at the, the beginning and ends of moves. So when I see the railroad tracks on this price chart here, I kind of like that. That kind of tells me, look, they took the market down hard, and then they just couldn't push it any lower. And the next day, it just went straight up. If it can break back up through the top here, then odds are the market's not going to really have a good, an easy time punching through this floor again. And so that's basically what we've seen, right?
So it's got a strong floor going for it.
Yeah, I mean, look at every time they bring it down here, they keep snapping it back. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Every time. So, if we do just simple sort of fibby fibs, here was that rally high, here's a rally low. If we're just thinking these are trading ranges, I don't think it's a bad idea to be an owner of this coin down in this region. And then here we should probably make that green. And then if we, do another one off of here, we can start to see sort of overlapping reasons for us to think about being long this name. As always, there's no guarantees. But I don't mind being long this name down here. I really don't. It might have to swim a bit more. We talk about 78.6. That's off this entire range as the line in the sand. And the market can sometimes lose that line. And you can see here where they lost it and then they fought, and recaptured it, right? Looks to me like we're doing exactly the same thing. Fighting. If we can get a nice little bullish resolution here, and you can see on repeated occasions they've tried to break this.
It went up there.
You see this day after day, they punched it up and somebody knocked it back down. Punched it up and knocked it back down. Punched it up and knocked it back down, right? Somebody is sitting on this. Somebody doesn't want this thing to go. Isn't that interesting? So here is really, you can see, you could argue like this is a market maker is running this market right now.
So why do you suppose that market maker would want to keep the price down?
Well, maybe they're accumulating. Maybe somebody's trying to accumulate a position in here.
Okay.
And the problem is that the market forces, I kind of think the market's running out of sellers. And so as a result, if we get any sort of buy pressure, this thing could just take off like a rocket. And somebody's like suppressing it. They're trying to keep it down here. Maybe, as I said before, what's the actual story behind this? There's a new sort of controlling group controlling this coin now, right? The people at Pornhub, I think, have taken over this. And as you can see, me going and grabbing my free coins, somebody is promoting this thing. Somebody's got an agenda here. Right. Frankly speaking, like you've heard me say, you can't write better fiction than reality. But somebody here, somebody here is got an agenda. Something's going on here.
Right.
They wouldn't be giving away and promoting this thing if this story was dead. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it looks like they also have official merchandise too. I was just looking it up.
Yeah.
T-shirts, hats.
They might get a, if they win this award, right? They're nominated, but if they win that, that's probably going to get a bunch of press coverage.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people that will buy stories in the marketplace. Like, that there are like our algos out there that just hunt for keywords in news releases.
Yep.
And they'll just buy something if they see the keywords won award, right? First place in competition or something, right? So, the fact that they're nominated, obviously this is going to sort of increase their public exposure. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So put it all together, I'm feeling like, I obviously none of us know what's going to happen in the future. But if I was going to have some money at work in the marketplace, in my opinion, this isn't a bad place to have some money working. And I do have some money working here. Right?
Well, you've just convinced me to go out and buy myself a pair of tits.
Well, why buy when you can get 100 tits for free? The only thing is I've got like 30,000 tits. Whoa, that'd be crazy. And of course, this is a very clean conversation here. I'm not
Oh, it's
swearing.
fine. We're already so far deep in. It's not a big deal.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know how we're doing on time. Of course, me as always, I talk way too much.
Yeah, I think we probably have time for like one more, and that'll
I
put us
actually
at
wanted to talk a little bit about a recent trade I did on Bitcoin, and hopefully demonstrate that. And a lot of my lounge members, like we have a members lounge. I like to call it the lounge, where we just come and hang out together. And a lot of our site members, all they do is post Coinigy charts.
right on.
So you've got some
Good
serious,
job, guys.
fans,
Keep it
and
up.
they trade bitcoins.
Pretty soon they're going to be able to
So
be posting Coinigy charts with blockchain information on them.
okay. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that for people who are watching this show, this isn't just altcoins. I mean, you can use Coinigy to trade Bitcoin very effectively. Um, This is what you see on the screen here. This is a very typical trade for me, and this is what I call my bot. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the bot.
I think so.
In fact, I have several tutorials on these, and we're just getting our free tutorial page back up and running. But this is what we call, or I call the bot. I sort of created this model. These levels I sort of gleaned off of other traders that have used this extension idea as well. And a lot of becoming a trader is really just sort of crafting the tools that you learn from others to your own sort of personal liking, and then just following a plan, right? I think as I spoke about earlier, ironically enough, I could give 100 people this trading model. I could tell you exactly where to short, but I guarantee you every single one of those people is going to have a different trading result.
Sure.
I could give you the exact levels, and I guarantee you they will all have different balances. It's just the crazy way this world works, right?
Yeah, that's just the way it is. I understand.
So the point here is this is one setup, and I was committed to my setup, and I just simply took the setup. This is what we call a harmonic pattern. And later on in, I guess the level 3 program, we specifically get into trading harmonics. This is what's called an AB equals CD pattern. And when you're on Coinigy, you can grab the little AB CD. In fact, that should say AB equals CD, so they haven't noted that correctly. But anyway, this is basically how it looks, A to B, and all this is a continuation pattern. And have you guys heard me say before, the market never moves anywhere in a straight line. In fact, the market loves to move in like a zigzag pattern, where you have sort of your initial move, then you have your counter move, and then you have your final move. This is a very natural, very normal process for the market to reprice itself from A, right, to B, and we'll say actually A to D. It has to go through a first move, then a check of that move, and then we finally get to the final destination.
Sure, that makes sense.
The point here is, as traders, we see this a lot. But how do you trade this effectively? Remember, we're not here just to post charts and look really smart. We're here to make money from trading, right? That's why we're here. At least that's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys are here to make these beautiful charts and links and stuff so that people like me can trade. For me, I'm here to make money from trading. That's what I'm here to do. So I have a pretty good idea that the market's going to move to this point D way over here. How do I frame a trade where my risk taken is going to be less than my potential reward if I'm right. I go about this in a two-step process. First things first, I measure this initial move from A to B. And what I'm really looking for is I want to see this counter move from B to C somewhere in the neighborhood of 33 to 66%. If I see that, then what that means is if I get market structure, and can you guys see the M here? You see how we went up,
Yes, I can. Yep.
down, up, fail. And you can actually see that it did actually fail right there. Hopefully you can see that. What this basically means is if I get market structure in here, I've got a pretty darn good chance that this red line harmonic pattern wants to play itself out. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to simply just replicate this range. And with the fib tool, it's really simple. You've drawn your fibs, and you can use the little magnet to make sure that your levels are exactly right. See that? And then we just go in, and you see this button. We're just going to hit clone. Boom. Then we're going to just simply drag this over and line it up, the top here, off of this highest high.
Pretty spot on.
And it basically just gives you a tool now where you can break apart this C to D move. And that's basically what I've done here, is I've broken this second red bar into quarters. See how this says 25 here? Let's change the color. Let's make it yellow so you guys can see it. Where's 25? There it is. Okay, so there is 1/4 of the move, right? That's this. This is what I'm expecting to happen. And then the distance from this 1/4 mark all the way down to the 100, of course, is 3/4. If I go short here, then what this trade really means is if this is indeed a ABCD, the market's not going to go back above these highs. So if I take this trade anticipating that it is an ABCD, then what I'm simply saying is, oh, come on, you jerk, what's going on here? No, stop it. What I simply am saying is this is going to be the risk I'm willing to take on this trade. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I'm expecting the market to go to this point D. So that means that if I take the trade at that 25 level and I hold on to it to my target, that is now my potential reward. You see that?
Very interesting. So did you take this trade?
Yes, I did. And
Nice.
of course, followers, and the interesting thing, right, is I even, after the fact, of course, I tweeted out to the public, but, site members, I'm blogging away as the trade's being put on. Here you can see as this setup works its way, as we hit different levels on the setup, we have to do things like move stop to break even, move stop to trailing, and then, of course, where is the follow-up? Maybe it's here. And how did you do that? You just click on the tweet itself? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, usually.
As the trade actually hits its target and we're filled at our target, I basically was more than happy to tell the world, look, if you had subscribed to our site, you would have been told that we went short here, and we just took profits. Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a really nice trade. And in essence, this is a very simple setup. This is the setup that actually got me funded as a prop crude oil trader, just trading the bot. And what's really cool is all through here, right? I take the trade, and this is a half-hour bars, right? So I was in this trade. I entered it here.
Yeah, so you're only in it for
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 6 hours. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 37 bars until all hell broke loose. 37 bars at 30 minutes a bar is, I guess 40 bars would be 20 hours, right? So I was in this trade a good, 18, 19 hours. And it was interesting in our chat room. We had people saying, oh, no, market's going to go up. It's going up. It's going up. And I just simply had to have the patience and the discipline. Look at my stop was sitting up here. I entered the trade here. My target is here. What's the behavior that I should do that's in my best interest as a trader? And the answer was nothing. Right? Does that make sense?
I think so.
Right? The trade's just working. If the market had gone up and stopped me out, well, fine. Stopped out. Next bus, just as we put here, next bus in 10 minutes. In this case, it happened to work in my favor. And oh boy, did it ever, in a real hurry, eh?
Oh, yeah.
And that's the great part about trading the bot, is you could just be sitting there in a position, and look how the market actually set up this trade entry. Can you see that? Isn't that incredible? This predefined model literally nailed the market structure perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that incredible? I find that, and this is often
crazy.
what happens with the bot. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit to the community about this trade. Hopefully you guys can appreciate now with 3-to-1 risk reward. In fact, the risk reward on this actually came out to over 4-to-1. Hopefully you guys can appreciate I can book a lot of small losses now because I've booked this one monster gain and still be above water.
Right, that's awesome. You're padded now.
Yeah, and now what happens if maybe, let's say the next trade fails, fine, I give a little bit of profit back. Next trade after that fails, oh boy, give a little bit of profit back, but then the next trade after that works, and then boom!
Right on.
So here's a great testament, and this is why. And I don't know whether I said this in today's. I mean, I taught a class today, so I've been talking quite a bit today. But it's imperative we as traders to not be so focused on being right. In fact, do you guys remember how often do the CME floor traders expect that their market calls are going to be quote unquote right? You guys remember what that number was?
I want to say like 60%.
55%.
55.
They are happy with that 5% edge. But when they are right, what happens?
Massive profits booked.
That's right. They get paid. And so here is a perfect example where I can now be wrong. In fact, at this kind of risk reward, I could actually only be right like 33% of the time and still be profitable. I shoot for 60, 70%. So hopefully you guys can appreciate I don't expect to be right 100% of the time. I do expect stops to be hit here. But when I am right, oh boy, do I ever get paid.
Right on. Hey, Brian, don't we have a raffle we have to get into?
Yeah, I suppose so. So that's your polite way of saying shut the hell up, Brian.
Well, I think, I was thinking about it. There's
That's cool. That's cool.
websites online where you can actually go and you can type in everybody's nickname and it will randomly choose one. I don't know if that's what you want to do or not.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
There's a website out there, and I'm trying to look it up right now, where you can just plug in everybody's name that retweeted it, that entered the raffle, and it will randomly pick one name.
Oh, cool. I know. See, I don't understand this. Okay, I mean, I tell you what. Why don't we research that for the next show? Let's just we'll just quickly go through this here.
Okay.
Why don't you guys take a moment and talk a little bit about site, and I'll just simply write down, write down who actually entered, and then just randomly pick one of these people.
All right, sure. So let me share my screen real quick while Brian gets this stuff together. Do a quick run through of Coinigy for everybody. Screen share. Rob, you still with us?
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. So if anybody here is new to Coinigy, we'll definitely give you a little bit of a heads up as to what's going on here. So essentially what Coinigy is a multi-exchange trading platform for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and basically every cryptocurrency, as you can see it on the left here. But what we allow you to do is get high definition charting on not only Bitcoin, but just tons and tons of altcoins. Down the left here is all of our supported exchanges, and we're currently up to 45. Soon to be into the 50s, I'm hoping, hopefully by the end of the month. So, literally, for example, Bits is Bitstamp. You can click on BTCE, see the Bitcoin price on BTCE. We have pretty simplified trading tools just to make it easy for you. So, for example, if you're holding balances on your BTCE account, what you can do is you can just attach that BTCE account to Coinigy, and then you can actually trade through Coinigy, and you can view all your balances in one place, which is really cool, really handy. Let's just click on Crypsians for the hell of it, because I know I have a couple coins in there. So, for example, this is the balances page. You can actually see what you're holding. You can show that in any denomination. So, for example, this Crypsy account has 18 US dollars worth of altcoins in it. Let's see what that looks like in, I don't know, let me pick one here. Pardon me, let's look in Florin coin. So my account is equivalent to 36,000 Florin coin. So we have literally conversions for every single coin out there.
How much Doge D is it?
How much Doge G? Let's see here.
There you have it.
What is that? 1.5 billion Doge
You're a
D.
billionaire
See,
in Doge
all
D.
I need is a buy button that cashes all these into Doge D, and I'll be set. So, in addition to this, we also give you guys a historical portfolio value. So, for example, you can kind of look, and this actually looks pretty cool if you go way back in time. You can kind of see all the coins I was holding over time and the total BTC value of all those coins over time. And it looks like, oh yeah, that's because I tried to withdraw some LTC, which didn't actually work from Crypsy. Or maybe it did, I actually have to check. Maybe it went through. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, that's generous at this
Yeah,
point.
right. Yeah, it is generous. But you can see your portfolio distribution. You can add multiple accounts here, so you can kind of see. Just keep adding stuff up. Yada 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 yada. Fun stuff. And then another cool feature is when you want to trade, you can actually trade on the chart. So as you can see, I clicked on my balance here. You can actually move the marker to where you want to buy, and you simply click Buy Now. And now that's getting sent out, and looks like there was an error there for some reason. So bad example, but so yeah, so you can just go ahead and buy, sell. I don't know why this is having an issue. There we go. So now this order that I just placed to sell BTC is now open on Bitstamp, and you saw how easy that was compared to typing in tons of fields and messing around with all that stuff. What else should I show, Rob? I'm willing to
I
bet
don't
the
know.
majority of our viewers have seen Coinigy and are familiar with it. So
I would imagine so. I think by now we should check in with Brian because he needs to be making progress over there on the raffle.
Yeah, there's so many people.
what are you doing there, Brian?
I swear I gotta.
He's looking for a top hat.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, so we had a question from Greg Peacock here, as you can see on the right. Is there no chat function on this Hangout? You know what? I think Brian was presenting that entire time, which really sucks. So nobody. I apologize, guys. It's just one of those weeks. So, anyways, well, you could have just envisioned what I was showing you.
While you were looking at Brian's Twitter page.
Yeah, while everybody was staring at Brian's Twitter page.
You guys, I have you linked. I have you selected. I purposely selected yours so that
Yeah, but I
I'm
had
watching your screen.
I had you set as presenting on Hangout.
Okay, so it's not my fault.
No, it's William's failboat.
All right.
Oh man, this show just went off the rails. Hey,
I
real
leave
quick
you
though.
guys alone for 30 seconds and all hell breaks
Yeah,
loose.
we need Brian's the glue that binds. But hey,
Okay, you ready
real
for
quick. Greg Peacock was asking if there's a chat function on the Hangout. We cannot figure out how to get chat working on this Hangout. Like we have it in the settings to say chat is yes, but but it just doesn't work. So I don't know. And then his other question is, can you save your studies to a particular URL like TradingView? I want to be able to save them as bookmarks. Yes, you can. Let me just demonstrate that real quick. So let's say I want to throw some Bollinger Bands, and we'll throw pivot bands on this, just as an example. So all you do is you click the snapshot button, and boom, you have a chart, just like that. And then you can save that. So let's just call this podcast test, and load an old save Fibonacci test, and then go back to it just to show you. Real nice and quick and smooth. Rob's put a hell of a lot of work into making this better. So yeah, can do everything you can pretty much do on TradingView. With more, because you can actually trade, and we have apps and cool stuff. Anyways, Brian.
Okay, I don't know what you're looking at here. Are you?
You were writing them down. I gotcha.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
I can't see your screen. I can see you.
Is that me? Yeah. Okay, so we got the official hat.
All right.
Got all the
Oh,
entrants.
you just dropped.
Oh no, get them all.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, are you wearing the official hat?
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
do you have to? You just have.
different ones. All right, survey says. Whoops. Oh, okay. There we go. Who's this? Who is this? This is. What does that say?
Can't read your handwriting.
Oh, it says David. Isn't that weird how it's backwards? Is that backwards to you guys?
No, it's forwards for us.
Is it? Yeah.
David Old.
David
Something.
Ottinger. David Ottinger. Way to go, David!
Ding, 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 ding.
Woo! Oh, look at this person just missed. Sorry, you're a little too late.
Oh,
Anyway, David.
better luck next time.
Where was David? David in here. I saw that he retweeted. So way to go, David.
Brian.
If you're...
Brian, I have an idea. Why don't you pick like a runner-up just in case David can't do it or something?
All right, the
Yeah.
first one that just is next here is bad news.
Oh,
Bad
we
news.
got good news for bad news.
Good news or bad news. There you go. I don't know that you guys can read that. So, winner number one is David Ottinger. If you, David, if you're watching the show, chime in. And actually, if you're watching the show, we could probably bring you in here. Didn't we do that with Johnny? And I saw Johnny was on the site earlier today.
Yeah, how's Johnny doing?
There he is. Yeah, there he is. Because Johnny, what's cool about John is he's from down under, and remember, I don't know whether you remember, he was actually moving back to Australia.
So is he doing it this round now or something? Or?
Well, he's in Australia now, and I think he's just getting settled now, and he's sort of using all the course material and stuff. And really, I think it's probably best that he just got a new job, new life, everything. So he's just getting settled. What I really like about him is he has his profile pic, and he because he's in Australia, he's somehow got his profile pic. He's told WordPress to put his picture upside down, but he and our other Australian members tell us that to them his picture's right side up. Isn't that funny? These guys, I swear, these people, they're so smart. They do these programming. You guys are just computer whizzes. It's incredible. All right, so Jonathan's there. Or Johnny's. I can't remember. I think he likes to go by Johnny. He's in our lounge now, so obviously, hopefully we can get David. David, are you out there? Can you just, I don't know, can you guys see on the YouTube page or whatever? I'll
No,
just put
he
a.
would have to probably tweet at you, or he could put in a Q&A answer, and it would show up here.
Where is he? They followed.
Yep.
I thought I had it right on here in front of me. Retweeted. Oh, here it is. Retweeted. Okay, so bad news. He's runner-up, and Armando. I was rooting for you, Armando. You actually were the one who reminded me today. I'm sorry, Armando. I was rooting for you, but there's our winner, David Ottinger. Isn't that interesting? So I'm going to reply to him on his wall. Guess what? I don't know whether this is his wall or not, or is this my wall? Anyway, guess what? You won! All right, so I've officially sent the, I guess, is that DOZAI? I sure hope I did that
Did you
right.
just email yourself, Brian?
I might have, but anyway. So congratulations, David. If David doesn't get in touch with us, bad news. I'll be in touch with you. Maybe bad news if you stick around next term. We'll throw you in as a honorable mention for next raffle. You should get some sort of bonus or something. But
Awesome.
anyway, I
It's two names
haven't.
in the hat.
Yeah, I haven't made T-shirts or caps or anything, so I suppose it's funny for my prop firm. We used to actually add bobbleheads that we got all of the purchase order, everything ready. We were going to do bobbleheads of the management team of the prop firm. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. We should probably do that. Would be hilarious to do bobbleheads of the Coinigy boys.
Oh man, I don't know if I can handle that.
And we should do bobbleheads of the TRI team. Where's our TRI team? There's our TRI team. Wouldn't that be funny to do
Yeah, I
bobbleheads
want a
of us?
Julian bobblehead so I can back it around a little bit.
Aw, poor Julian.
Yeah, where's Julian been, man? He's gotta quit that day job and
yeah.
webinar 24/7 with us.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I told you guys at the beginning, it's tough to have the what's the word I'm looking for? The stamina to do these shows week in, week out, every single week. You're just here like clockwork. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Hey, we commend you for that, man. You're definitely a workhorse.
I love this stuff. This is my passion, right? So this isn't, if anything, they often say, if you can find a job in your life that is your passion, then it's really not work, is it? So the irony of it all is if I wasn't doing this with you guys, I would still be looking at price charts and stuff. So
all right, might as well talk about them, hey?
Yeah, I mean, I love this vocation. Oh, I didn't even show you. You guys are looking at my stupid mug. Stupid. I don't know whether that's the right word. Sorry. There, I was going to say, we need bobbleheads of these guys. I want to get bobbleheads of us on the site.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll give out bobbleheads to the runners-up.
There's my Julian bobblehead.
Yeah. Poor Julian. Julian. All right, so David, get in contact with us. Maybe, oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, good. So David, you know that you won. Way to go. I have no idea to get on a Hangouts. Well, you and I will have lots of fun. Email me. You're already connected with me on Twitter, so just PM me, DM me on Twitter. I'll DM you, and we'll get hooked up. So way to go. Congratulations again.
Woo! Awesome. Congrats, David.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you think, guys? Should we call it a night?
Yeah, I think it's good timing.
That's a wrap.
An hour and a half. So, so I guess I'll give a quick outro then. Don't forget to check out therationalinvestor.co. If you like what Brian is laying down, definitely check it out. I mean, he goes into way more depth than he did tonight, and he really gives a lot more of an explanation of the thought behind everything. So, and I've sat in a couple classes, and he definitely knows what the hell he's talking about. So hugely worth it. Don't forget to check out Coinigy.com, professional tools for cryptocurrency traders. And then finally, if you have nothing going on tomorrow, check out livecoding.tv/Coinigy. I will be there live coding away, working on the platform. So if you want to get your voice heard, definitely check that out. You can just sit there and badger me all day if you want, or you can just say hi and chill out and listen to some music and watch some live development. So on that note, we will say happy trails, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Thanks for watching.
Like and
Bye.
subscribe.
Like and
Like,
subscribe. Like and
subscribe,
subscribe. I knew I forgot something. Like and
thumbs up,
subscribe.
high five, pat on the bum, everything,
Yeah.
please.
All right. Bye
Good
now.
night, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. Wait.